everybody. This is Will Sellenrod, and welcome to another episode of Story Behind the Collector. Today we have a very unique collector. He's got some extremely rare Porsches, and I'm pleased to bring Charles in. Charles, would you like to step in and tell us about your cars?
Sure, Will, whatever you want to know.
Yeah.
Ask me a question, I'll answer it.
Okay, well, let's start with this Slantnose. I love the color on it. What's the story behind this?
Actually, I bought this car sight unseen on the internet about 10 years ago.
Okay.
Came on a truck. It was in perfect condition. It's got 20,000 miles on it. And to tell you the truth, I'm afraid to drive it with the way drivers are now and texting and everything. I take it out on a Sunday morning.
But this is all original, right?
All
Did
original.
you restore it or do anything more to it?
Same as it is.
Okay.
It's got, as I said, 21,000 miles on it from new.
Would this be one of the Porsche individual?
No, it's not. That was
Okay.
a year. I think in '86 they started the Sonder.
Sonder one.
Yeah. This is a factory built car. Okay. Still, I mean, it was still off the line. They had to build the front of it, and they put a. But it's not. It's not as unique as the Sonder was.
Yeah, but you have the classic. This is the guards red, right? And the classic. I don't know. We call it tan interior.
Tan interior, beige interior.
And the manual transmission. Yeah, it's in beautiful condition.
That's my favorite combination, the color.
Yeah. So do you drive this car often then?
I'll take it out on a Sunday morning. I'll drive up to Connecticut,
when there's no cars early.
Yeah, early. Yeah.
And it runs really well.
It runs great.
You got the turbo in it, right?
Yes, and it runs great. I service it as it should be, and it's a really good car.
So what kind of driver are you, Charles?
Well, somebody at a gas station, an older gentleman, the other day, I was filling this up, and he said to me, "How fast have you had that?"
Yeah.
And I said, "You're taping this?" I said, 65 miles an hour. He looked at me, "Come on." I said, "Well, for now, 65.
Well, what's the speedometer go up to?
Yeah, 200.
Like it goes up to 200, yeah. What's the fastest you've ever gone?
Actually, I probably had it up to 150, which was a stupid thing. Most of the time I drive them at speed limit or below. I don't race anybody.
But this car's really stable at that speed, right? I mean,
Very
you
stable.
got the big wing on the back.
Extremely stable. It feels like you're doing 70. I'm telling you.
It's all calm and serene inside.
Very calm, nothing.
Everything's just kind of going by really fast, right?
It's quiet. It's not noisy. It's
no rattles.
No rattles. It's like a luxury car.
Yeah.
So it's fun to drive.
And it looks like you have an upgraded stereo in there, so you have the...
yeah, that's the one thing. The stereo was changed. In fact, when I bought the car, in 1988, he had the receipts. He had a stereo system. In 1988, it was $12,000.
Wow.
When you open up the lid, it was filled with stereo equipment. I took it all out. I mean,
so people could hear you coming around the corner.
Yeah, I don't need that. But that's the only thing I took out of the car. The stereo. It was one of those 1980s stereo systems. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Too much. Overboard.
Well, really, I mean, the sound of the engine is great.
I'd rather listen to the engine than the music.
That's what I would rather listen to.
Yeah, that's how I am with all of them.
Well, this car is just in beautiful condition. I mean, I don't even see a stone chip in it, Charles.
No, it really isn't. I really am careful with it. I mean, you never know.
Do you drive it with a blanket on the front of it? Or?
No. But I'll tell you a story. 2 years ago, I took it up to a yacht race in Greenwich, Connecticut with my daughter. I said, "Let's take the Porsche." We'll drive up. We went to the yacht club. We had a great day. We had a great dinner. And coming home, driving through the toll booth at the Throgs Neck Bridge, a guy 2 cars in front of us had a fence tied to the top of his car, and it came off the car right in front of us.
Oh, no.
I reacted I don't know how. It looked like it was coming through our windshield. I don't know how we missed it. I ran it over, but it never hit the car.
Oh, boy.
My daughter said, "Oh, no." I said, "We're not stopping. We're going home. I'm not going to look at the front of this car." I thought it had hit the car.
Yeah.
But his fence came off. He had it tied to the top of his car. So it would have caught him.
So with that kind of luck, Charles,
that was lucky.
Did you play the lottery
I should have played the
lottery.
I should have played the lottery.
That's usually how that works. Well, this car looks like it's hardly been driven. I mean, I even look in the interior. I don't see any wear on the seats. Nope. It's just in beautiful shape.
No. It is certified 21,000 miles. I have all the records on it. Which is sad, because they're meant to be driven.
Yeah.
But in the 80s, that changed. It became from a collector car, a car enthusiast thing to an investment thing.
So is it hard to go somewhere and park a car like this without people crowding around you? I mean,
Very hard
You
to
must
do.
like attention then.
No, I don't. That's why I drive that one most of the time.
Okay, well, we'll get to that
Yeah,
one
that
next.
one
Let's
is-
go over and look at
yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
This is a really nice color. I like it. And this thing looks like a hot rod because when I see underneath, it looks like there's some special suspension
Yeah, if you
mods
want to
to
see
it.
the engine,
Yeah.
it used to have stacks, but they're impractical because they collect everything, so we had the stacks taken off and filters put on.
Okay.
But this is actually what sold me on the car. That
Oh,
engine.
that's really
No
nice.
wires showing.
Yeah, that's
Ah.
beautiful.
I mean, I have the stacks inside. They're great to look at, but they're not practical. They get dirt in them all the time, so we took them off and put the filters on.
So was this a resto mod then? Is this what you would call it?
Really, it's nothing really changed except the engine and the details on the car.
Okay.
So it's sort of like a restaurant, not like a Singer or something like that, but not to that extent. But it's a fun car to drive because it's the old visceral feeling of an air-cooled car,
Yeah.
and it's noisy and it's great. I drove it cross country right after I got it. The three of us, the guy who built them, and took two other cars, and we drove them cross country without a glitch, nothing,
Wow.
no hiccups at all. It was great.
And this is naturally aspirated.
Yeah, naturally aspirated.
So would this have more horsepower than the turbo that we just looked at?
No,
the Slantnose?
no, this thing,
Okay.
no, this thing is around, I think around 200 horsepower.
You think it's faster than the turbo?
No,
or?
no,
Okay, the
no.
turbo is definite.
That one is. This is
Oh,
very
the next
fast.
one we're going to get to?
That's the fastest. But this one is fast, but it's like the turbo. They used to call it the Widowmaker because
Yeah.
that turbo kicks in at 3,000 RPMs and flies. Up till then, it's a little bit.
Yeah,
calm.
because the rear end could get a little
Yeah,
squirrely
all
when
the
that
weight
turbo.
in it.
Yeah.
That was the problem.
Okay.
You got to know what you're doing when you drive. You gotta be careful.
So this of the three is probably the one you drive the most.
This
you
is the
think?
one I drive the most, definitely.
Okay.
It's not as pretentious. It's not, look at me,
Mm-hmm.
and it's fun to drive. It's really fun to drive. It's,
Well, it looks like the suspension had some modifications.
oh yeah,
then too.
it's all modified underneath
Yeah. And then
in a
you've
good
got,
way. In a good way. It's
Right.
nothing crazy.
because I don't know if they had disc brakes then, but you obviously
Yeah, they had this, but
Okay.
but that's all
But they're
modified.
bigger
The suspension, the
Yeah.
oil cooler is put in front,
you got the roll bar in
the roll
there.
bar in it.
And how does this drive then? Is it pretty smooth or is this?
Well, I tell you, I was a little nervous going cross country with the seats and it,
Mhm.
but I'm telling you, it was comfortable. It was very comfortable on the open road. It's very, very comfortable.
Yeah.
It's a little stiff, but nothing crazy.
Mhm.
Fun to drive.
Yeah, and I noticed you have the filler
Yeah,
cap
that
in the
right
front
in the
there.
center. That was one of the modifications.
So what's the theory behind modifying it and making it visible?
Well, that's
there?
what
It's just
the race cars did that.
Okay.
So it was easy to fill. And
Yeah, got it. So there's nothing really in the front that you could put luggage in there or something?
very little. There's some room. But
So
not-
when you
not
go
a lot.
cross country, what do you
Oh,
do?
we had stuff stacked in the back, and we
Okay.
also had a van following us with all the rest
Oh,
of the
nice. Okay.
The mechanic in the van too. But we didn't need the
Mhm.
mechanic. It was amazing. All three cars ran great cross country, and we shipped them back. It was too much to drive.
So is there a story behind this insignia with the
No,
pig?
that's something I found online at Onassis Porsche over in Europe.
Okay.
And he drives the builder crazy when I pull in with that. Why'd
Yeah.
you put a pig on my car?
A pig with wings. So pigs
it's
do
got
fly.
wings. Pigs fly.
Yeah.
And that's the whole premise of it. I think they stopped making them. I have the emblem in the back too. Metal emblem. It's just part of it. Just fun.
Yeah, it is. I like it. And then, it's just a great color. And this looks just as beautiful as the
Yeah,
turbo
I
over
think
there. I mean,
so.
you don't
I
have
think
any
so.
chips on this
Nope,
either.
nope.
Well, let's talk about the white with the red and blue stripe.
Well, there's an
This
interesting
is the
car.
fastest of all three.
Yeah,
right?
this is an actual race car. It doesn't really belong on the road. It's very uncomfortable to drive. For 20 minutes, it's fun. After that,
because the suspension
the
is real
suspension,
stiff.
the brakes, the transmission,
The
everything is
seats,
stiff.
it's
The
just built
seats,
for
it's
speed.
built for racing.
Okay.
But the interesting part is Brumos, if you know, was a big
Yeah.
dealer in Florida that sponsored a lot of racing. In 1973, they won Daytona, first, second, and third. I think they came in with an RS. And this paint scheme, that was their paint scheme. Then they kind of slowed down with the racing. This is the only 964 and the last air-cooled car that Brumos built for a customer to race. It's actually an RS America that they imported with the RS Delete, and then they built the car. They increased the engine, put a chip in it from Andial. They made it a race car. So it raced, club racing.
So it has a racing history.
We have mostly club racing, but apparently, according to the owner, who I met online actually who raced it.
Mm-hmm.
It never lost a race. It was so fast and so.
Wow.
And then I found it like this. I mean, it's not really restored, but there was a small, you know, of course, the racing, it's been hit a couple of times and stuff, but they restored it to this. And when I saw it, and the rarity of it, it's one of them. To me, it's such a rare car. And the last car Brumo's built, the last air-cooled car Brumo's built, which is pretty exciting for me.
Yeah, and it's naturally aspirated.
Naturally aspirated, yeah.
Yeah, let's take a look. So was Brumo's in Jacksonville?
Jacksonville, Florida. Yeah, in Jacksonville. They're not, you know, they sold it, so they're not. They still race and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that looks great. Really clean.
This is the anniversary car for their win in Daytona. There's a plaque on the. Hurley Haywood was the driver. There's a plaque in there.
Hurley Haywood drove this particular
car?
car?
No, he drove in '73. This is the 20th anniversary of that win. Commemorative car for that win.
Okay.
And he's got the signature, Hurley's signature up here. He drove the car, you know, after it was built.
Well, I think it looks great. Was there a number in there then before?
Well, 59 was the number of the car that won the Daytona.
Okay, yeah. And that's what this number was.
Not really. They didn't put a number on it. But I don't, you know what?
You don't want people to know your birth date then?
No.
Well, and you got the pull bar here. So is this street legal then, or is it not?
It's street legal, but it's
okay.
It's not really.
Yeah.
It's a great car. I mean, as I said, 20 minutes is fun. After that,
it's probably loud inside too, right?
Very
so
loud.
All the sound
Everything's
installation's
the transmission makes noise. The brakes make noise. The engine's noisy.
I don't see a stereo in here.
No stereo, no air connect. The worst part of it.
Oh yeah,
no air. This for weight. No, the worst part is there's no sun visors.
Oh, I'll be darned. Yeah, that's right. You know, that looks really nice and clean though.
I know.
It really looks good.
But imagine taking sun visors out for weight. And then
that is, you wouldn't think a sun visor. I mean, what's a sun visor? I mean, 4 ounces?
How about this? It's drilling
Can you
a key so it's lighter.
See the holes drilled in that key so it's lighter?
That's so it's lighter.
That's impressive.
I mean, it's crazy.
That's impressive. Wow. So have you ever weighed this car?
No, I never really did.
I just wonder what the power to weight ratio is on a car like this.
Well, you know, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure of the horsepower, but it's built and it's got a chip in it from Andial, which was part of Porsche back then. It's very fast.
So it revs higher than a regular engine,
Yes,
right?
it's extremely fast, fast.
You know,
fast.
what's the red line on a car like this?
Well, it's on here as like 7,500. So.
Okay, and that's
I've
power.
had it buried there.
Yeah, so peak power bands, right?
Yeah, right around there.
Oh my gosh, that's got to be a blast to drive.
Yeah, it's fun. A patient of mine who used to restore Thunderbirds.
Okay.
When I started getting into the cars, he said to me, do not put a cover on your car and don't wash them. And he told me how to take care of the paint. And I've done it for 10 years on that car, and it still looks the same.
And so then what's that secret again for our viewers? So
no cover, because the cover puts minor scratches in the car no matter what cover you have.
Okay.
And never wash the car. Always use the detail wax, which I thought was crazy, but it apparently works.
So you just spray it with the detail wax?
As soon as I come in, I spray it with the detail wax. I wipe it down. And
so you don't drive in the rain then, I would think?
I try not to. They all have stories.
Yeah, and you had some good ones. And you got some beautiful cars, Charles. And I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us about them. Share your passion with your collection.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure meeting you.
Pleasure to meet you, Will. Anthony, you did great.
Awesome.